So in order to change, people always go to the action. This is the action I need to take. They get it, and it's correct. That it's a cause and effect world, so you have to change the cause in order to get to a different effect. But what people miss is that what causes the action, and that's always thinking and feeling. So in order to change what it is that you're doing, you have to change what you're thinking and feeling. And then they slip off the slope because they say, oh, okay, so I'll just start positive thinking. I'll think that. Choosing to think something isn't being controlled by that you're just choosing to think it. It's controlled by habit. 95% of what you're thinking and feeling all day long is habit. So in order to make the change, you have to go through the process of changing a habit. And first thing you got to do is create awareness around that. And that's why there's no space for shame and guilt in any of it. It's just a process. So people go, oh, I got to start working out, or I need to start making more sales calls in my business, or, I want to grow my business or something. And it changes action, and they don't change the action. And then what happens and keeps them in that cycle is that they feel bad about that. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. That's the whole messed up part that keeps it stuck is that you're just unaware of it. Like, there's no need to feel bad about it at all. You just have to go back to the thinking and feeling. Thinking causes feeling, feeling causes action, action is what gets the result, and it always follows that line. That's it. It's a process.
It's a process, indeed.
Repeated over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And the thing that gets people to do that, that's the big thing, is that people do it for a day or maybe even a week, and they might get something out of it, but they don't stick to it long enough for it to actually take hold and become a habit. And the only thing that will make people really do that is that there's something worth getting at the end of it. That's why when we go, well, I'm just going to set a small goal, you don't want that small goal enough, so there's not enough drive to do it. So you run into that first bump on the road, like you're not going to sit down and do your coaching, you're not going to do your visualization 15 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. The real reason behind that is because what you're thinking and feeling is it's not that big of a deal. I don't want that thing that much. Mm-hmm. And we've been taught, like, don't set big goals, because most people will go, well, how's that going to happen? How are you going to do that? And you go, well, I don't know. And now you're stupid because it's shame, right?
Right. Because you can't explain it all the way through.
The truth is that we never know how. Right.
Right.
How could you? Logically speaking, if you knew how to do it and you really wanted to do it, wouldn't you just start doing it?
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's the truth. So the truth is you're never going to know everything in our lives that have made a difference in our life, including this cell phone, this light. Everything was always some crazy idea that people were told, like, what are you doing? You can't do that. And then people just said, no, I want to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing for the negative things that we're thinking in our life too. We don't know how that's going to show up. And people will come up and say to you, oh my gosh, I can't believe that thing did what it did. It's like, no, it did, because you're thinking and feeling along those lines all the time, but you didn't know how it was going to show up. Mm-hmm. We never know how it's going to show up. You receive the how. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole funny part of it. You just keep on with the thinking and feeling until you change that habit. You're going to get results by doing it consciously, but you really get the results, and the lasting results is when you create a habit out of it. So then it's that big process of doing that over and over and over again, consciously. It's like learning to speak a new language. And the only thing that will drive somebody to do that is the fact that they have something there that says, I really love that idea of having that thing, and they don't know how to do it. That's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. So what's the first step in all this, really?
The step one is deciding what it is that you really want to do. Mm-hmm. And then when you decide what it is that you want to do, you're going to start figuring out what the thoughts and feelings of the person who's already done that. You, the person that you want to be, has already done that. And that's going to bring that awareness in to where you go, oh, I see. Like, if you say somebody wants to go work out, they know that that's the action that they have to take to go get the body that they want. What they'll start to become aware of is that I don't have thoughts and feelings that are in harmony with that. Like, oh, I don't have time. I'm going to be tired. It's not going to go well. I need to sleep, or... Essentially,
they're just standing in their own way.
Yes. So...
And it's not...
They're negative thoughts. And then they become aware of that. And you go, well, wait a minute, the person that I want to be. And then you start to get clear about what thoughts do they have. They say, I'm at the end of the day and I go, I'm really glad I worked out. Or they get to the end of their workouts and you see that person has a lot of energy. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to practice having those thoughts over and over again, every day. You start off twice a day, in the morning and the evening. That's a great place to start. But then that wants to infuse into your day. That's the whole point is that you start doing that, like, oh, in this moment, what do they think and they feel? And you're practicing just like you did when you were a little kid. You're having fun and you're doing it over and over again until those thoughts and feelings are automatic. Like you're an example for this. So you've been cut open by the doctor, you have stitches in your back and you can't work out for 4 weeks.
Right.
Well, it's already been established inside of you as a habit. The only thing that you're thinking about is that you can't wait to get back to working out.
Yes.
That's already built inside of you. And that's what has to be built inside of somebody in order to have those results for the rest of their life.
Right.
What's built into people that aren't getting those results is the opposite, whatever you want to say it is.
Right.
Like, you don't have to change that, but in other areas you recognize that, oh, that's the thing, I need to change it over here. Like doing this video right now. It's different thoughts and feelings that says, oh, I'm the media manager and I actually do this, right?
Yeah, well,
so we film it.
That's the thing, is that you have to grow into that person. But really, it starts with you, with that burning desire and want. And then you have to really get real with yourself. What are the thoughts and feelings that you're having around that?
No shame or guilt.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because I feel like that's where people get caught up in. Or, they'll start blaming, other people or outside circumstances. And really, it's you.
It's always.
And I struggle with that in other aspects in my life, not so much with fitness. I feel like that's built in me. That was definitely a practice that has been built in me. I've built that belief. But in other aspects, yes, fear will get a hold of me. And then I stop what I'm doing.
And thank God it's you. That's the big thing, is because if it was actually something outside of you that could stop you, then this world does have control over you. But nowhere is it written that circumstance has dominion over man. The Bible doesn't say that. Nothing says that. No true teachings really teach that. It's always us. There's always something that you can do. And so that's cool. But what people have with that is they go, oh, I don't want to, I'm going to get mad at you for saying that, or negative energy. There's shame and guilt around it, and it keeps everything locked in. And if you, as I tell people, if you'll just look at it like a broken part on a car or your air conditioner or your computer or your phone or something like that, you don't sit and get mad, or, well, maybe you do that one, but like, you don't feel guilt over it. You don't waste time on it. You just go, okay, I'm going to fix the part or repair the part, replace the part. Yeah. And we're the same. That thinking and feeling is just a part. It's like something that you've grabbed or you've been given. If you don't know how to program yourself, the world taught you, like family, friends, everything that was around you taught you how to think that way. They gave you that part. And you go, wait a minute, this part doesn't produce what I want. And so you have to just change it. You don't bother with any of the negative feelings around it. You just get involved in the process of changing it. And you do whatever it takes to change it because you really want that result. That's the big power in all of it. Is we get this thing inside of us that says, oh, I'm supposed to be able to do that myself now when I reach a certain age. We never do these things on our own. Everybody always succeeds with a mentor, with guidance, with accountability, with all of those things. That's what the important thing is that why, coaching is kind of a funny thing. People go, well, I don't need that stuff anymore. It's stupid. You hear it, like, especially dudes, like, man, they're the best for that. Like, oh, I'm just something. And then they got this thing in their life, and then the first thing they do is they point out and they go, yeah, but that's different. That thing, it doesn't. No, you're the same as everybody else, and you have to let down that thing, and you have to realize that you want that result so much. That's what matters. Then you realize you make that deal that I'll do anything to get that result. Aside from harming people, like, you're not going to harm people, but you say, I'm going to commit to this action, commit to this coaching, do it over and over and over and over again, because that's what really makes it happen. That's why it's done through a process. Our process is about 12 weeks long.
I love it. Yeah, it's a process and a practice.
Keep going.
That's right. Don't get in your
feel
way.
guilt and shame. Just let it go.